Hello, everybody. My name is Tomas Sakalauskas. I'm the designer of Human Fall Flat. And today I would like to share some tips how to make games that are not just fun to play, but also fun to stream and to watch on YouTube. Human Fall Flat has over 100 million views on YouTube today, but I cannot take any credit for that because success in game business is usually based on luck. It's a little bit like winning a lottery. But one thing for sure, you will not win a lottery if you don't buy a ticket. So I will try to give some ideas how to increase your chances on winning that lottery. But first of all, I would like to say big thanks to my fans and to streamers that helped to make Human what it is today. So what is this game? Let's watch what we have had a couple of weeks ago.
Traverse extraordinary dreamscapes using only real-world physics and your wits. You do have wits, right? Uncover the secrets of an ancient temple. Lay siege to a medieval castle. And ride a dumpster off a cliff. Because reasons. Pull stuff, push stuff, carry stuff, combine stuff, trash stuff, burn stuff. The only limits are your twisted imagination and the untwistable laws of gravity. Solve surreal puzzles alone or with the help or hindrance of a friend in local co-op. Customize your character with all of the cool skins. Then, face each challenge head-on. Or break all the rules any way you want. Human Fall Flat. Pre-order now.
Okay, so there's one theme that repeats on all levels in design of this game, be it animation, puzzle design, game mechanics, or whole level design, or character customization, and that is emergence. And emergence is when something of bigger complexity is being created from components which are much more simple. For example, our consciousness is created by mere electrical signals in our brain. But basically, very simple, basic things can create nice, complex, bigger things when they start interacting with each other. And emergence is nothing new in game design, even if you take old games like checkers. They have very basic rules, but players sitting at the match of checkers can create really complex experience by interacting with those simple rules and with each other. In video games, this is also used a lot, but not always by the will of game designer. This is called unintentional emergence, which is also good for game designer. It's just he did not plan it. For example, there are glitches in games, and player will use them to play the game a little different than designer intended. Or using game mechanics in a wrong way. And the famous example here is a rocket jump in Quake 3, which allowed players to traverse arenas at incredible speeds and change the game totally. Then players might change objectives in the game and try play something else in the game which was not designed for that. Or can go as far as modifying the binaries or data of the game and modding it when the game was not intended for mod. But the goal of us as game designers is trying to tap into that emergence opportunities and provide something intentionally. And it could go from offering creative solutions for the player. For example, instead of building and scripting how certain puzzles have to be solved, you can provide with small reusable blocks that the player can figure or invent his own solution. This is easier to implement and more fun to play sometimes. And example would be, instead of going and marking every edge as climbable by game designer or level designer, you simply implement simple rule like the character can jump 2 meters up. And basically that's it. You don't have to go around and mark things, and players will be looking for those places where they can run and jump, for example. Emergent behaviors are widely used in artificial intelligence. Instead of pre-programming the paths where AI will go and when it will shoot, it will try to react to players' action. For example, if you approach enemy, it will try shooting you. If you run away, he will try chasing you, but then will give up. On the higher level, they can communicate with each other, and then suddenly the game becomes much more interesting. Because if you meet a group of 5 enemies, one of them is boss, for example, and depending on which one you attack, how bad you damage him, the battle against the same 5 enemies could lead to very many different outcomes. Emergent narrative is a way of telling the story not through the script, which is built when the game is being created, but again by giving simple rules how NPCs react to your actions and to actions of other NPCs. And player is the one who creates their own story when being in that game by making choices. And providing meaningful choices is one of the key tasks for game designer. Open world is emergent from its design, because game designers, instead of saying player you have to follow this particular path, will throw player in a bigger open world where the player can explore it at their own pace and decide to go with the missions or not. And it's very popular. If you check, Grand Theft Auto is still quite often #1 selling game, newly, after so many years it's being released. Sandbox is a little bit different type of open world. It's where players receive building blocks. Very simple, small building blocks, but versatile enough to make endless possibilities of combinations of those blocks. And the block can be as simple as a cube. And we all have seen the rise of Minecraft, which is a sandbox game where all that player gets is just a cube. And it's incredible. You can continue with emergence by providing procedural or random implementation for certain things, like in Human Fall Flat, I used procedural animation. And instead of having to do motion capture for every action the player will do, animation emerges by player avatar interacting with the environment. And it looks fresh, it looks alive. So adding randomness, you can generate levels, do a lot of things, but be careful with random. If you make things random too much, it will make players' choices no longer meaningful, because whatever you do, the results will be random. But certain amount of randomness can make a game more replayable. For example, you do more or less the same actions, but the outcomes are a little bit different. They can be surprising. And then you can add emergence on another layer, not in the game directly, but by providing modding opportunities for your community to continue developing the game further on. And you can see games like Garry's mod or Arma that lived way further than initially designed by a designer. Why emergence or designing emergent game is good, especially for small indie developers like us? Because its definition is relatively simple game mechanics that leads to complex situations. Relatively simple means that it's not very expensive to implement. It's not easy, it's very hard to design properly, but instead of writing hundreds or thousands of possible scripts and outcomes, you just focus on building really small autonomous blocks that will compose the whole game, which is something that we can do. When your game mechanics is simple, we know that it's very easy to get hooked on those games, and mobile in particular, with all the casual games, shows that the simpler the mechanic is, the easier it is to get addicted to it. For today's session, speaking of YouTubers, simple mechanics is also something that is simple to communicate in your video stream to your viewers, because they watch the game and they understand what is happening. If you have hundreds of variables and many steps to perform certain action, YouTuber has to explain everything, or everyone will just watch and not get into what is happening. Complex situations is good because it brings more depth in your game for your players and for YouTubers. And also complex situations, the more complex, and complex don't mix it with complicated, because complicated can be something that is very complicated. And complex means that it depends on many things, many pieces that give birth to that situation. So complex situations have a lot of variation. And again, having even slightest variations provides replay value, because you do seemingly the same actions and you get different results, which is also catering to insanity by its definition. It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results each time. And that actually works sometimes in games. Why streamers like emergent games? Because we only give them very simple building blocks for the gameplay. The rest of the game is created not by game designer, but by the streamer himself. So he can really steer it one way or another way and tell his own story. So we, instead of writing story for them, we give tools to create their own story, to show their creativity. And what's even more fun, we give a tool that has element of surprise. And this is something that YouTubers will like and the players will like. I will show a few clips from streams of different YouTubers that will demonstrate how emergence in design of human fall flat allowed to create quite a big range of different experiences for tubers and for players.
Wait a second, guys. Why didn't I think about this? Can't I just throw myself over? Would that work? I think we're a bit too far back now. Let's just try it, okay? Oh! Oh! Okay, it worked. I don't know why I didn't just think of that. What was this? Why were we throwing rocks at it when we could have just done that the whole time? What is it?
All right, okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. 5, 7, 6. Woo! Oh shit. Ow!
Instead, oh god, what the fuck's going on with my arm? Arm, work with me here. I'm just going to hold it and click the lever if I can. Come on. There we go. You're coming with me. Oh fuck. Oh god. Oh man. All right.
How can I repay you? This fucking upper body strength. Holy shit. Oh my god, dude, I'm turning inside out. I'm turning inside out.
Like oh. Oh god. Oh, help. I'm stuck. Oh, the dangers of the workplace are real right now, guys. I am seriously stuck. So my plan there was, let me just explain myself. I was going to use my body to kind of push this, but there we go. And over here, oh, I'm stuck between a crack. Oh god. I feel like it's that movie, fucking 28 hours or whatever the hell it was. I'm stuck already. First fucking obstacle, and I get my head stuck in it. Okay, can I get out of here? Okay, now it just looks like I'm twerking for the rocks. All right, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna have to restart this. Oh, are you serious? The moment I stop, I somehow escape. All right, well, that's a good example of never giving up and never surrendering. I gave up and somehow I succeeded. All right.
Okay, so Dragas was... Thank you. And again, I created nothing here. It's them who created their own stories using this simple ragdoll-based animation. And you could imagine how much would it cost to create something with motion capture. No one would love to record those animations in the first place. Okay, so what is this phenomena of people streaming your games? And what can they do for you? First of all, for indie developers, they are, I would say, the main channel nowadays to move any decent sales. Because if you take just the figures for Human Fall Flat, to force people look at your game for 20 minutes and 100 million viewers, that would cost incredible amount of money. And they will do it for free if you make the game that is fun for them to play and for their audience to watch. They can present game much better than it actually is. They can make it fun when it's not fun sometimes. And one more aspect is they can tap into region markets. So we have a really nice tubers who do Korean or Chinese versions, French, Italian, Russian. In some markets we would not be reaching them so easy because of language barrier, and in some markets it would be culture difference. They make all those flashy title screens which look terrible for us Western people, but they invite local players to come and see the game. So what do they want in turn? Their business is keeping their viewers happy watching their channels. So they are looking for something that will attract new viewers. Basically, you should provide something innovative. Just repeating the same game over and over again will not really drive the viewers. They have to be able to create content that is fun to watch. So if you make very linear game and there's not much to show for creator, he will not be happy streaming, and their viewers won't be happy watching. And of course, the time is precious. So try to deliver technically working games that don't block recording software and things like that. How do you reach them? The session before this was just about that, but to sum up quickly, you can write them emails. They don't get much emails. Those numbers are not that high. Especially the smaller YouTubers, which you would like to reach first, they don't get much emails. They read game press, so if something big is going on in game press, they will try to cover it, so press releases is important. And again, just writing press release won't work. You have to learn a little bit about marketing. Be active on social networks, because they are active on social networks. Not always you will talk to YouTubers directly. There are networks, professional networks, where a middleman will be looking for games for their creators to play and will provide codes. And of course, they watch what other YouTubers or Twitchers do. So as soon as you reach certain critical mass, the ball will start rolling on its own. You have to do nothing, just watch and enjoy. And they will look at new games that are being released, and a couple of those methods were basically what got the ball rolling for Human Fall Flat. And I will show videos proving that. But basically finding a new game, and then if you have some strange features which sometimes you don't think will work, could make them recommend the game to others. And then when you get certain critical mass of players, they will be working for you as community. If they love you, they will love to see their favorite streamer do the streams. So let's see how it went with Human.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Human Fall Flat. Today is one of those days where I just want to play something new. So I downloaded this game. It was $10. And I'm already super happy that I did, because if you go into the customization here, you can actually use the webcam to put your face on your character. Okay, so we're going to try that. Hopefully, oh, there I am. Okay. How the hell is, what am I? This is, oh God, how am I, hang on a second. I'm never going to stop finding that hilarious, guys. I love games where you can put your own face on things. There aren't enough.
We're going to play it, and we're going to have fun. First of all, let's customize this, because my buddy Matt Shea told me I can put my face on this. So I can either paint, or I can use my webcam. You know what, let's, oh shit, Jesus Christ. Okay, well they... Anyways, let's get into the actual game now of Human Fall Flat. Now, I have no idea what this game entails. My buddy Matt Shea basically said I should play this, so I'm listening to him, I'm trusting him.
My name is Jacksepticeye, and welcome to a game called Human Fall Flat, which starts with this poor little dude falling through the sky infinitely. I feel terrible for him, but he's super cute. Look at him, he's all wobbly. I'd never heard about this game before until I went into the comments, and a few people had suggested it. And as always with these types of games, when a few people suggest something, I end up looking it up. I don't always play it, but sometimes I look them up. And this one caught my eye because it looks like Gang Beasts. This little character reminds me of something from Gang Beasts, which I'm still sad Gang Beasts is not multiplayer online.
Okay, so in case of Jacksepticeye, his players were asking to play this game. And the game looked fun for him, so he went and played. Of course, you could try reaching them, but the best is to start with smaller audience, it's much easier to reach. If I would wrote when the game was still not known, most probably he would not notice, or maybe he would, I don't know. Okay, so how do you design something that will stream nice? It's how you achieve whatever property in your game design. You design for it. And the process of designing for something revolves around two simple steps: prototyping and playtesting. Prototyping is a very fun, very quick activity when in a matter of hours you can create miracles. And playtesting is seeing those miracles being torn apart by clumsy players. The fun part about it that you will learn to love playtesting the more you do it, because you see things that you did not see when you were envisioning the game. And this is exactly what happened with Human Fall Flat. It was a child of prototyping and playtesting. Initially, it started as a technical prototype for video camera controlled character, and I created few simple puzzles wanting to build Portal/Limbo type of puzzler. Very linear with small puzzles, and as soon as I gave this to playtesting, I noticed that the emergent, basically players were trying to use components of puzzles to solve puzzles differently, or not to solve puzzles, to go somewhere else, or even use those components to build whatever. So I quickly realized that I should totally change the direction and follow what players are trying to make with the game. Another thing, I provided a lot of play opportunities, so not just gaming, where you try to solve things, but like the customization feature that you saw. It serves no purpose in the game, but somehow people find it funny. So it was really flexible in the beginning where I want to take the game, and trying to get focused as I moved along. I started playtesting with YouTubers really early on to see how it streams and what they like, what their audience likes, and also seeing someone trying new way to solve the puzzle. I was making sure that I include those things if they did not work for some reasons in the beginning, like the gap is a little bit too wide or too short, so adjusting based on that. So essentially it's emergent game design itself. So I had a very simple component, core game mechanics, and I threw the game at the players, and I saw it emerge to what it is today. So again, I'm totally thankful to my players who made the game as it is today, and I was just watching the process and helped them steer the game where they want to have it today. And as a bonus, I have a cat video.
Here we go. I got an idea. Yeah. Oh, turn. Yeah. That didn't work. You know how difficult it is to get a cat to look at a camera? How difficult? Oh, that's pretty good. No. Look back. Oh, that's perfect on so many levels. That is absolutely perfect. We better save that beast. There you go. Saving and back. Good. Okay. Let's see. What does the kitty want? Oh, that looks good, doesn't it? Ski mask? How about? Oh, kitty with the mustache. Right. Handyman helmet. Hazmat mask. That's really creepy. Let's do that one. That one looks good. And now upper body. There, that's better. That's hilarious. Oh, the face on the back of the cat. What a fantastic idea. Oh man. Oh, this is great. Back. That's perfect. That's going to be super creepy.
Okay, thank you.